Good morning. Good morning. My name is Carol Villaverde, and I am a Program Council co-chair and member of the board here at TVUUC. On behalf of the board and the Program Council, it is my honor to welcome you here this morning. Whether you are here in the building or watching online, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, wherever you are from, and wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. All of who you are is sacred, and all of you who you are is welcome. If you would like more information on our church, please fill out our visitor card at the welcome table and in the pocket in front of you, or visit our website, tvuuc.org, and select Stay in Touch. If you are visiting us with small children, we invite you to sit up front where it is easier for the little ones to see what is going on. Please don't feel that you must keep them still. All are welcome here, wiggles and giggles and all. If you do need to step out with your child for a moment, the E.E. Cummings room is a glass-enclosed room at the back of the sanctuary where you can still see and hear the service. It is there for your family's comfort, but please do not feel obligated to use it. We understand that silence is never completely silent. If you are interested in classes for your children here at TVUUC, please visit our religious exploration table in the art gallery area of the lobby, where Miriam Davis is staffing the table to answer your questions. You can also find more information on our website. We have just a couple of announcements this morning. The first is that in celebration of Juneteenth, a big thank you is extended to Helen Rivers, Reverend John Coffey, David Asbury, musicians, groups of singers, and the beloved community committee, members, friends, and office staff. We also want to extend a thank you to all of the folks, TVUC folks, who participated in and helped with Sono Pride, or South Knox Pride, yesterday. So these announcements and others can be found in the back of your bulletin or order of service. Today is the Share the Plate Offering Sunday, and that in our Share the Plate Sunday is for the bottom. And to tell you more about what this means and how to give is Claudia Presley.
Good morning. My name is Claudia Presley. I'm the Director of Finance and Operations here at TVUUC for one more Sunday after this. And for those of you that did not hear, it was announced at the congregational meeting. During the DFO search, I'll be here in a part-time capacity for maybe a couple of months. So you should be seeing a job announcement come out soon. Tell your friends, tell your family, have them apply. It's a great place to work. But anyway, my part of the job here this morning is to tell you guys about Share the Plate. And what Share the Plate at TVUUC means is that any contribution that comes in that is not marked as a pledge will be split between the TVUUC operating fund and our partner organization for today. That organization is the bottom, and Anastasia is going to come and tell us a little bit about that in just a few minutes, but right now, let me tell you how to give. If you're here in the sanctuary, at a certain point of the service, there will be offering baskets that are passed. Please put in cash or checks. If you'd like to give by texting, you can text the number 73256, type in TVUUC, and the amount you would like to give. You can also give through a QR code. You can give through the giving kiosk in the lobby. If you're watching online, there should be a bar or a button that says Give Now that takes you to our secure giving site. So please give generously to our partner organization today, which is the bottom, and then Anastasia is now going to come and tell you about them.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you? Very good. As was said previously, my name is Anastasia Williams. I'm the bookshop director at The Bottom in Knoxville. We are located in East Tennessee in a beautiful old home turned bookshop and art space right on Magnolia Avenue. In my role as bookshop director, I have the distinct privilege of curating all the books and gift items that you see in our space. I do a lot of hosting of events and literary experiences around town. I produce our podcast and then also manage our inventory. And I was an avid reader growing up, and walking into The Bottom for the first time in 2021 was a dream come true for me. Because it's filled with books that showcase characters and stories that are similar to my experience. And it was powerful to be able to walk into a place and to see shelves filled with books by Black authors, which is what we specialize in, is uplifting the works of Black authors and artists and creatives, especially here in our city. So our mission at The Bottom as a nonprofit organization is to serve the community through our Black affirming bookshop and community art space. We're rooted in place justice, so we stand to build community, celebrate culture, and engage in creativity. The Bottom was created in 2020, right out of the pandemic, by a sociologist named Dr. Nkechi Elamine. And she was studying race and place and uncovered the old neighborhood called The Bottom, and spoke to a lot of the elders who lived in that part of town and about their stories and how their homes were demolished, destroyed due to urban renewal in the 50s and 60s. So after hearing their stories and researching what occurred in The Bottom, she wanted to make a new place for Black folks, especially in East Tennessee. And so that's why we were created. Why are spaces like ours so important? I think, as I mentioned, for me, when I walked into The Bottom in 2021, I was in desperate need and searching for community, and I found it right there at The Bottom. And I've been here ever since, just driving towards our mission. And in our society and how things are today, it's incredibly important to invest in community, life-giving spaces like ours. We have a lot of cool programs that we do, including our Lit Kids program. It's a free program that is grant-funded and donor-funded, where we give a free book a month to families who sign up, and we do monthly workshops with them as well. Yesterday we had a Lit Kids workshop where we talked about the Juneteenth holiday, and the kids made freedom bracelets alongside that activity. So that's a really key program for us, and one that we're very proud to offer for our community members. We offer multiple book clubs, including a banned book club. That's something I'm very passionate about, is making sure we create access for the things that kids want to read and our young people, and to raise readers. And we do that by giving them the choice of what they want to read and not allowing the government to make those choices for us. So with our banned book club, we've been reading a title from the list of 113 books that have been pulled from Knox County shelves, and discussing those because we want to read the things that people tell us not to. Thank you. We also have a Black Creatives Meetup, which provides free and low-cost arts workshops and training for local creatives here in Knoxville. We have a ceramics program that runs through our space as well. That we also have our own kiln and multiple art studios. We do a program called Sew It, Sell It, which is going to kick off in July with young kids, 12 to 17. They learn how to sew and they create their own micro business in the matter of 4 weeks. And we've been running that program for 5 years. We have tiny bookshop concerts and so much more. Please look at our website if you want to learn more about what we do. But one thing I definitely wanted to share today is that our building also features the Elandria Williams Reading and Research Room, which we're very honored to have to honor this late local activist and strive to provide a hub for scholarly work at the intersections of all the things that Elandria was fighting for and working towards. So, what are our biggest needs right now? Our biggest needs are just financial support, to be honest. We've been impacted by some federal grants being pulled, and we know that we can't rely on grant funding as much as we used to do. So ways that you can support us are, of course, today, participating in the Share the Plate. You can become a book subscription member. We have a monthly book subscription where I curate a title. It's $20 a month. It's a really great way to support us monthly. Or you can donate that book subscription to someone in the community member who would like it. You can be a Lit Kids sponsor. It costs $240 per child to run the Lit Kids program. And so we're looking for sponsors for that. Or if you're interested, we are also looking for board members if you want to participate in our board of directors. Thank you so much for your support and allowing me to be here. It's such an honor, and we're so grateful for everything that you're doing for our space.
Thank you, Anastasia. After the service, please join us for coffee and conversation in the fellowship hall. If you are visiting and would like a tour of the building or have questions about our church, look for me there and I'll be glad to show you around. Our worship service speakers and planners for today's service are past board member Mebbie Jackson and Brandie Miracle. Please join me in showing appreciation and extending a big welcome. And now, if you've not already done so, please silence any electronic devices as we enter worship together.
Well, our morning musical meditation, God of Our Mothers, was composed very recently, just a few months ago, by Becky Mann, and she is a Jewish cantor and very prolific songwriter. If you like this song today, you can find much more of her music at beckymannmusic.com, and I would be happy to program more of it too. The original text of this piece starts out with Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. And it's saying God of Sarah, God of Rivka, God of Rachel, God of Leah. And in honor of our divine feminine subject today, we have changed the lyrics a little, and you're welcome to chant along.
Goddess Sophia, Goddess Kuan Yin, Goddess Brigitte, Goddess Isis, Goddess Sophia, Goddess Kuan Yin, Goddess Brigitte, Goddess Isis,
Good morning. Before we begin, I just want to reiterate what we all know anyway, that we are talking of the feminine today. The feminine is not a gender. The feminine is an energy. The deep feminine, the mystery of consciousness, she who is life, is longing for our transformation as much as we are. She holds back, allowing us free rein to choose, nudging us occasionally with synchronicities, illnesses, births, and deaths. But when we make space for her, she rushes into all the gaps, engulfing us with her desire for life and expression. This is what she longs for. This is what we are experiencing, the feminine through ourselves. We simply need to slow down, find where to put our conscious attention. And this is the willingness to look again, the willingness to put consciousness into our places of unconscious, to express what we have always avoided, which starts the process of unblocking so that she may flow through. That's from Lucy H. Pierce. Please stand as we light our chalice.
Services its law.
To hymn 327 in your gray hymnal.
Joy, thou goddess fair immortal, offspring of Elysium, mad with rapture to the portal of thy holy fane we come. Fashion's laws indeed may sever, but thy magic joins again. Humankind is one forever, 'neath thy mild and gentle reign. Joy in nature's wide dominion, mightiest cause of all is found, and 'tis joy that moves the pinion when the wheel of time goes round. From the bud she moves the flower, suns from out their orbs of light. Distant spheres obey her power, far beyond all mortal sight.
Good morning and welcome to everyone here in the sanctuary and everyone watching the live stream wherever you may be. Louder? Okay. To begin, today's the last day of the Unitarian Universalist Association General Assembly being held in Baltimore, Maryland this year. And yes, soft-shell crab are in season. I was telling people that nobody seemed interested in that fact, so. And I get it a little bit. Well, jack me up a little bit, guys. I'm eating the mic as it is. There we go. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. I get the whole soft shell crab thing. I had it once, that's enough. Carolyn and Reed Franks have a great joy that started out as a concern. Carolyn learned this week that her left carotid artery was 99% blocked. Her surgery on Thursday, however, was very successful, and she is joyfully home on Friday. She says she will lay low for a couple of weeks and then be up and at 'em again. She says she had an extremely good and kind doctor, with emphasis on the fact that good is good, but good and kind is not just better, but wonderful. We celebrate you, Carolyn and Reed. Pride Month celebrations continue in Knoxville, as the South Knox Pride Festival was held yesterday. Thanks to everyone who made it happen and to those who coordinated the TVUUC booth. I think we wore Lynn out because he's not here today, but I think he personed the booth for I think around 10 hours yesterday. So let's hear it for Lynn Hickson. From all accounts, a good time was had by all. And speaking of Pride, please be on the lookout for more Pride events that will be happening around Knoxville and elsewhere in the coming days. For example, West Knox Pride 2025, which will be held this coming Saturday, the 28th, beginning at noon. Please visit their Facebook page for more information. Kathy Greenberg is happy to share that her knee replacement on Friday was successful. The doctor said that everything went perfectly. Kathy will now have PT, physical therapy, 3 times a week for the next several weeks while continuing her work with the Right Relations team training. Kathy tells us, this being my 3rd surgery in 18 months, I am experienced and hope to see you all in a few weeks. MJ Aiken is happy to share that for the first time since an accident when she was 5 years old, she has no back pain. Over the past 2 weeks, she has had an ablation on each side of her spine, and now, after all these years, she has no lower back pain. Congratulations to you, MJ. And when I first came in this morning, I had 1 item on Joys and Concerns, and now I have half a dozen, so Faye Joyce needs a ride on Tuesday to an eye appointment, I believe, on Tuesday afternoon. Please see Carolyn Rogers for details. She will be in the back of the sanctuary after the service. And now, for those with other joys and concerns, both shared and unspoken, we send you love and light.
Today, we talk about the mysteries of the feminine. And I feel this is mysterious because we as a culture in our modern society still get confused about what femininity is. If you look at advertising, femininity is a curvy woman in her 20s. If you look at religion, femininity is a devout wife and mother. But if you look to history and myth, femininity is wild and free. How did we lose our way? There are many answers to that question, and that's another talk altogether. Today, I want to talk about the feminine through myth. There are many goddesses that we are familiar with. Isis in the Egyptian pantheon, Athena in Greek mythology, Venus from the Romans. Some goddesses were assigned a singular or narrower focus, such as Venus being the goddess of love, and others were powerful forces that transcended definition, like Isis. In ancient times, the feminine was equal to the masculine. There were gods and goddesses of many things: love, war, nature, oceans, and so on. In the past, we honored the masculine and the feminine aspects of all things and forces in our world. Just like the yin-yang symbol demonstrates, nothing is fully masculine or fully feminine. In the yogic tradition, Purusha is the male energy, the pure consciousness, pure awareness, and Shakti is the feminine energy of movement. So when Shakti comes into Purusha, manifestations occur. This can be the spark of ideas, the sperm meeting the egg, the seed coming out of the ground, and the stalk coming from the seed. Feminine is electric movement. In the Hindu tradition, the balance of the masculine and feminine brought forth the story of Rama and Sita. Rama had to prove his strength to win her hand in marriage, and Sita had to prove her strength to rescue him from his kidnappers. It's a similar ordeal to what Isis and Osiris went through, where Isis is killed by his brother Set and scattered across the world, and Isis finds him and puts him back together again to conceive Horus. Isis and Osiris both went through extreme trials, and they created Horus, the falcon god, who rose above the conflict to rule alongside his mother. These stories of cooperation are very needed in our present time. Sharing our strengths make the collective bloom into all its possible manifestations. Together, we rise. The story of Persephone, who spends half the year fall and winter in the underworld with Hades and half the year spring and summer in the earth with her mother Demeter, is an example of how the feminine aspect is in all things. She is the embodiment of fertility in the warmer months on the earth and the barren landscape of the underworld the rest of the time. Many people feel that she was more at home on the earth, but was she really? She may have enjoyed them both, but in different ways. Persephone is balanced, and we all strive for balance in our lives. Myth and religion are often intertwined. As I was first conceiving this topic, I kept looking at the Judeo-Christian model and wanting to balance the masculinity of the Holy Trinity. Instead of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I thought of Mary, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Sophia. Mother Mary represents the unconditional love that is the foundation of all life. Mary Magdalene represents the love of service, devotion, and ministry. And Sophia is the wisdom that permeates the ether all around us. The feminine is always here, even when we choose not to see it. Goddesses are not all love and light. On the one hand, you may have Venus, who is the epitome of beauty, and on the other, you have Kali, the Hindu goddess of destruction. She is blue. She has 8 arms that all hold weapons and a necklace of skulls. not a typical Hollywood goddess. In Egypt, there is Sekhmet, the daughter of the sun god Ra, who went on such a killing spree she had to be drunk on beer to stop. The feminine is creative and destructive, such an enigma. I titled my talk, The Mysteries of the Feminine, and this is a mystery we may never solve. Feminine energy is complex and fascinating, seductive and scary, loving and harsh. Today, I've mentioned many different mythological traditions, and there are many that I didn't have time to delve into. Mythology is a fascinating paradigm. I invite you to get curious. Look into the different mythologies: Greek, Roman, Hindu, Egyptian, Sumerian, Norse, Celtic, and even Native American, Incan, and Mayan. All cultures have ancient myths that we can learn from. The magical realm of imagination is where we can solve some of our deepest psychological issues. And that leads me into the guided meditation for today. I want to guide you into an inner experience of meeting your masculine and feminine energies. It requires a bit of imagination and stillness. Be curious as to what shows up when you give your mind free rein. Suspend the idea of who you are and come and play in the sea of consciousness and find new possibilities. I invite you to find a comfortable position. You can close your eyes or have them in soft focus. Notice your breathing. For your breath is your anchor. No matter what meditation you may be in, if you find yourself wandering, you can always return to your breath. So breathing easy, recall a memory where you felt fully in your feminine energy, a time where you were creative, nurturing, in the flow of things. And as that memory begins to form, notice in your body where you feel this energy. It can be a small buzz, a change in temperature, or just something that's different feeling to you at this moment. Rest in that energy and feel the force of the feminine within your own body. And now begin to recall a time when you felt fully in your masculine energy. A time when you were decisive, structured, determined. Allow that memory to form. And when it feels complete, notice where that energy is in your body. Begin to allow these energies to grow within you. Allow them to meet, to dance, to intertwine. Feel their power become enhanced as they interact. Know this feeling is available to you always. You are a part of the divine fabric of creation. You may remain seated while we sing hymn 91, Mother of All.
Mother of
Softening, softening, softening all the hardness. Melting, melting, melting all that's frozen. Letting go of the sorrow. Dissolving into love all the shadow. We are woman, we are bringers of life. We are vessels of love, we are expressions of the divine. We are woman, we are bringers of life. We are vessels of love, we are expressions of the divine. Sister, hold my hand, you're stronger than you know. We're opening to love, we're learning how to grow. We hear the call, we are returning to remember. We're like the rose, we're stronger than we know. We're like the rose, we're stronger than we know. Ancient mother, moving through us. Roots growing deep in our ancestry. Medicine woman, daughter, mother, and lover, reclaiming the power of our sacred memory. We are woman, we are bringers of life. We are vessels of love, we are expressions of the divine. We are woman, we are bringers of life. We are vessels of love, we are expressions of the divine. Sister, hold my hand, you're stronger than you know. We're opening to love, we're learning how to grow. We hear the call, we are returning, we remember. We're like the rose, we're stronger than we know. We're like the rose, we're stronger than we know. Sisters holding hands, in the circle we are held. Sisters holding hands, in the circle we are strong. Sisters holding hands, in the circle we remember. Sisters holding hands, in the circle we belong. Sisters holding hands, in the circle we are held. Sisters holding hands, in the circle we are strong. Sisters holding hands, in the circle we remember. Sisters holding hands, in the circle we belong. We're like the rose, we're stronger than we know. We're like the rose, we're stronger than we know.
everybody. I just want to say thank you for welcoming me. It's such a warm welcome. Everybody here has been so friendly, and for me to not be a member of this community, I see so many loving faces out in the crowd that I know. So thank you for the opportunity to speak about something that means so much to me, and that's the sacred feminine. I want us to still continue to allow this moment to be a temple and our listening to be a doorway. Today, I'm going to speak about the sacred feminine not as something that's outside of us, but as the deep well of wisdom within us. She lives in silence, in dreams, in cycles, and she speaks sometimes quietly through the cards of tarot. Tarot's more than a tool, it's a mirror, and each card reflects a part of the soul's journey. Among them, the sacred feminine appears over and over again, and it's not always in form, but it is always in energy. She's the high priestess, sitting between shadow and light, holding the scroll of wisdom, a guardian of the threshold where logic ends and mystery begins. She's the empress, the fertile mother, radiant with life, pleasure, and the power to create. She teaches us how to receive, how to grow, and more importantly, how to rest in our own abundance. She's also the moon, pulling the tides of our dreams, asking us to walk through the shadows and trust what we just can't see. These are not just cards, they're invitations. Let's sit for a moment with that image of the high priest for those of you that are familiar with tarot, and if you're not, I'm going to do my best to give you the verbal, artistic representation of that card, but she's sitting on this bench, and she's between two pillars in front of this pomegranate-covered veil, and as Mebbie mentioned Persephone earlier, that's intentional, because that veil is the invitation into the sacred mysteries. She teaches us to go inward and to trust the wisdom that lives beneath the surface, and to not listen with just our ears, but with our bodies, our dreams, and our intuition. I can remember a time in my life where I felt completely lost, and every plan that I had fallen through. And I have this beautiful community of people around me saying, you know what, here's what we're going to do. This is how we're going to fix this. This is how we're going to solve your problem. And there was a voice that was inside of me that just said, shh, hang on for a second. Just sit, listen. It was a quieter voice, but it told me to be still. And in that stillness, when I heard the sacred feminine speak, it wasn't in words, but it was in knowing. And that knowing led me not to certainty, not to problems solved, but it led me to peace. And then that peace eventually led me to clarity. You know, in the tarot system, the masculine is experienced in a way where we are, if we're the magician, we're learning how to use our tools. If we're the page, we are receiving information that's very educational and how that we make our way through the world. It's this very logical space that we live in, but the feminine is not experienced in that way. And so a good example of that would be the difference between the sun and the moon. I mean, for those of us that if we were to walk outside right now, the sun would illuminate as far as you could see, as far as you could see. And in that information, you would have all kinds of resources to deduce what you need to go forward. But the moon, no, that's not what she does. She says, I'm going to shine a light just enough, so you'll take one tiny step forward towards the darkness. And it's in that space that you're faced with the courage to move through that, even if you don't know what's waiting on the other side. Two very beautiful but different experiences on how we resource in terms of the outside versus our internal experience. I've spent a good majority of my life, I'm almost 50, literally half of my life chasing the Black Madonna statues around Europe and trying to understand my own experience in the sacred feminine. And just recently, Mebbie and I took a trip to Lourdes in France, and for those of you that know the Marian energy that's connected in that space, it's very sacred and very intentional with her. It's this beautiful healing space, and so as we're driving, and the Pyrenees are kind of welcoming us into this space. If you've never been there, as soon as you drive into Lourdes, it's this womb-like crevice that's kind of pulling you into its space. And we just both looked at each other instantaneously with no words, no knowing, but we felt her. Mary, maybe. Her. Her in general. We found her. The peace of her. And the availability to kind of connect into our own space in that way. The sacred feminine doesn't force, she reveals. And she's always inviting us to soften, to trust, to befriend the unknown. And in a world that moves fast and speaks so loud, she asks us to just move slow for a second. Listen deep. What the fool has learned by the end of the journey about sacred feminine is this source of wisdom can't be conquered, can only be honored. Her rhythms are for us to tune into. Her cyclical nature is to be lived in, not pushed against. The sacred feminine is this vast internal guide that is also seen in myth and symbol scattered in the present world all around us. Her presence is in all things, in all of us. The fool in the end learns to embody this energy, not just understand it or worship it. The fool acknowledged completion lies in balance. The fool sees that sacred feminine can exist harmoniously alongside sacred masculinity. So now I ask you very gently, where in your life are you being called to listen more deeply? To trust without any proof, to honor a mystery that you cannot yet name? What if your uncertainty is not a problem to fix, only a threshold to cross? What if the sacred feminine is already speaking to you in your dreams or through your body, and all she says is just listen, observe, just listen? And if you are able to stand for hymn number 318, we would be the one.
We would be one, as now we join.
right, you may be seated. Is that what you said? In closing, let us take another deep breath together. And for a final moment, just for a second, we're going to go inside the temple of our mind, and with one or both hands placed on your heart in a gentle, loving way, we're just going to hold space together just for any and everything that is unknown in this world and to yourself. When we walk into the dark, we long for light, only to realize that that space exists within us. May you all remember that wisdom lives within you. And may you always find courage in silence where there's no answers. May the Empress in you create freely when the creation isn't here when you're waiting. And may the moon shine her light as the gentle guide into the unknown. And may the journey you walk be surrounded by reverence and recognition for the mystery of the sacred feminine that lives in you, beneath you, and in all things around you. Blessed be. And we'd like for you to take this moment to get to know your neighbor.